Hello everyone, welcome back to Calmsden. You join us here again. This is Waldo P. Barnstormer, and as you can see, we are now in the depths of winter. We're in the midst of December now, and we've had a bit of snowfall, so yeah, everything's looking Christmassy, everything's white. It does kind of lend us a bit of a not much to do now. We can't really go into the field and do any field work in these conditions. We haven't got that many animals yet. We'll address that later on in this episode. But for now, we're just going to do a bit of titivating around the farm, just tidy a few things up and see where we're at. First things first is to tidy up what we left off from the other day. So this is the lime spreader coming back in as well. Get it tucked away in the shed, and we'll also get the JCB telehandler off the trailer here too. Now, I must say, I kind of bought this low loader as a bit of a hassle and mistake kind of thing. It wasn't what I intended to buy, but actually I'm growing to really like it now. It's very handy. It'll transport pretty much everything that we have. It would be better if I had a lorry with it, but then if I had a lorry, I wouldn't have the tractor with it whenever I was towing it in places, so it's kind of 6 one, half a dozen of the other. It's working out pretty nice at the minute. I'm happy with it. Now, this was one thing that did pop up for us, and as you can see, I've just bought it. It was a feed mixer. It came up in the sales. It was 50% off, so I think it's a pretty good bargain. We were always going to need one. We've got some cows here and we want to get some milk on the go, so I think it's a good purchase, and I'm never going to get it as cheap as this again. So as you can see, I just disconnected the trailer, only to reconnect it again, nip down to the shop and get this thing put on. I'll buy a couple of bales of straw whilst I'm there as well, because we don't have any in stock at the minute. So there we go, we got all loaded up, got back to the dairy farm, not too bad. Roads are pretty tight around here, but it's definitely manoeuvrable. Because I left the JCB up at the big farm, I need to run up the road again and get that now. And come down and start loading a load into the feed mixer. I don't want to give it to the cattle yet because they're not ready to produce milk really yet. So no point in wasting the TMR on them. So I'll do a load, have it sitting there ready to go. And then we'll look at actually upping the animal numbers a little bit around the farm today as well. Now I must say I do apologise kind of for the camera angles and the jumping in and out an awful lot here in this one. It is quite a tight space to be trying to do a load like this. Should really put myself in a bit more of an open area or something, but I don't really know where I'm going to do that in this farm. It's alright, we'll work something out. There we go, just finishing off now, topping it up with a bit more straw just to bulk it out. And I think here, if we look, yeah, got a pretty good mix there. Everything's in the green. Don't have any additive, so we'll have to sort some of that out later on. But we've got a while before we need to give this to anyone anyway. Right, on to the next job of the day. The silage we had across in the biogas, I think it's all processed now. We seem to have stopped making money from it. It's bringing us in a good bit of cash actually in the background. We're getting about 40-odd thousand a month, 45,000 a month out of it. So it's paid for a couple of things so far. We obviously have this £150,000 loan. We've got another couple of months left before we have to make our first payment. I'm going to play it every financial year. So come the end of March, we need to be looking at paying a big chunk of that off to keep the bank happy. So what we're doing here is we're just going to lift another load of these beels and run these across to the biogas plant that then process away in the background as well. And that should hopefully keep us ticking over for another couple of months. We do have quite a lot of digestate there now for spreading as well. So we may have to look at getting some kind of a slurry tanker. I'm not sure if you can sell digestate in this map, I don't think you can. We go, that's them all dropped off. Everything's in the can be processed for now. Those other beels will get taken as and when, so that's quite good. It'll kind of drag it out for an extra month there. And back through the field tracks, quite like this little path. It's really scenic. That really big steep hill was quite a hard pull for this tractor coming up there with that full load of beels on. And it's a good little roller coaster ride here as we go down this hill now and go through the little river ford again too. As it's the midst of winter though, there's not really much for us to do today, so I'm going to call it quits for today. I'll stick that subsoiler on the front of this tractor, so I'll try and remember to take that across to the shop next time and sell it. But, you know, it's a nice wintry day, it's cold outside, so I'm going to go home, heat my feet up with the fire, and we'll call it quits for today, but don't worry, we'll come straight back with another one in this same episode. Right, so we're up again now, January morning. We skipped on ahead a little bit, and no more snow in this episode. It's all gone for now. Don't know if there's any more in the forecast. Again, we're in the same kind of situation. Not an awful lot to do today, but what I do want to do is look at turning around the horse field, the bit in the paddock in the front of it. Maybe digging that up, putting some kind of a small crop in there. Also going to pay a bit of attention to the animals here as well. Give the sheep some more grass, some more water. They haven't been fed for a couple of days, so they definitely need topping up. And as I mentioned before, we're going to update some of the animals in this one. So rather than waiting for the chicken pen to really breed up, what I'm going to do here is just get rid of everything that we have and then bring in some new fresh chickens, ones that are all of laying age. So we'll get some good eggs out of them as well and sort of a little production chain going that way. Now, because I got those extra chickens, going to need a bit more feed in there, but first off, we're going to nip down here, pick up a couple of hay bales from the cow shed, and put them across the sheep as well, because as you saw, it took the rest of that bale that I had across there. Okay, so now we've got the sheep and the chickens sorted out. It's time to look at the cows. We'll go in here. We don't have a big herd at the minute, so I'm going to spend a bit of this money that I've been making from selling the silage at the biogas. I'm going to bring in some more Holstein milkers and bring in another few calves as well. Kind of bolstered up so we've got at least, about 20 milkers and 20 calves in the go there. So that'll hopefully start the production going a bit quicker on that. Ideally, I'd like to get the dairy on this one. Start doing things like cheese, chocolate, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I really need a bit more milk production coming in. I've also got quite a bit of slurry in the tank there too. I'll say quite a bit. You know, you go through slurry very quick on this, but I definitely have some. Now, as I said before, I want to dig up that little paddock in front of the horses. So that's what the subsoiler's in the back for. It's not a big field, won't take much to do this at all. It'll only be a very small crop of something I'm going to put in here. Don't know what I'm going to put in. May even just seed it out in grass, because it kind of suits naturally with grass here, but it just seems like wasted ground at the minute. Yeah, so as you can see, this subsoiler makes very quick work of this one now. A 9-meter working width and easy to pull, definitely goes through it quick. So because that's fresh virgin ground, it's going to need liming as well, and then cultivator running over across the top of it. It is the one downside about the bigger subsoiler is that it doesn't leave the cultivated texture, but because of the speed that I'm getting through it with that, I think it more than evens itself out. Lovely, that's that job pretty much done. Nothing more to do there until the weather picks up again. As you can see, it's been snowing pretty much all morning. I'm fully expecting to get a lay of snow overnight here, so it was really important that I got that job done today, because otherwise it'll be another day or two before I can get back at it again. So really nothing else left again to do today. As I say, I'm expecting the snow to start laying on the ground soon. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to get the tractor out of that shed. I kept catching on the side. Just to kill a bit of time, because there's nothing else happening. I'm going to take this subsoiler across to the shop here and get it sold as well. If I can avoid hitting that tree, anyway. It's probably a bit bent now. It's alright, we can fix it. So here we are. I think I get about £7,000 back for this one. Can't remember exactly what it was there, but yeah, pretty decent amount of money. I'm happy with that. Right, back up at the main farm again now. One last thing before we do call it quits for the day. We fed the sheep earlier, we didn't give them any water, so I need to take the tanker across as well and top up that, because I know they are low at the minute. And that really is us now for the day. It's winter time, so you know there's not an awful lot of stuff happening on the farm, but hopefully we've still managed to give you something to watch today and you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, please do those normal YouTube things. Leave us a like, a share down below, leave us a comment, let us know what you want to see in this series coming forward, and we will do our best to deliver it. So, as ever, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we will see you again. Have a good day, and bye now.